Clarissa. If you are new, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, I am so sorry I have not been putting out new videos. I have just had a lot going on the past few weeks, and I really just needed to take some time out to make sure that I was okay and make sure that my mental, physical, and emotional health was all intact, so I didn't want to worry about putting out videos, but I am back. So for today's video, I'm just doing this warm fall look, so if you'd like to check it out, just keep watching.
So to start things off, I'm changing it up a little bit and I'm going to be doing my eyes first. So I'm just taking the foundation that I'm going to be using and sort of putting that all over my eyes so I have a nice base to start everything out and it's a little bit easier for me to blend once I do it. Then I'm going in with my NYX base and I'm just putting that all over my lid. I'm going to be starting out with a more brown shade. I kind of put on a little bit more than I anticipated. Putting that shade all over my lid, really packing it on, and then I'm using that where I packed it on to sort of blend it upward a little bit. Then I'm sort of using some fluffier brushes to really make sure that that outside is blended. So this is the first shade that I use. Now I'm going to move on to this orange shade here, and I'm putting that right above where I put that browner shade, right above my crease, or where my crease should be. And I really want to blend out that orange shade, so I'm kind of doing the same thing where I'm putting it really heavy in the corner of my eye this time and right above that brown, and then I'm sort of blending it up, really making sure that sort of the color stretches and isn't just compact in one area. Then once I do that, I'm going to go back to this neutral shade and I'm going to use that as sort of a transition between that orange and the rest of my eye. So I wanted a little bit of color there, but I didn't want anything too much to get right up to my brow. So I'm really making sure those are blended together. Now I'm going to go back in with those shades and sort of all make sure that they're nice and blended and they flow seamlessly together. You're going to see me kind of doing that a few times. Now I'm going in with one of my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes, and I'm using a shade called Boom. I believe it's a Ring the Alarm palette. And I'm going to be putting that all over my lid. I started off with a brush, and then you really get the most metallic pigmented shade when you use your finger because it melts a little bit, so I went back and sort of used my finger to really make that shade pop. Now I'm just going to go back and do some more of those touches, just like I said, to make sure everything is blending nicely and I'm really keeping the colors that I want there. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to my face. So I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty primer because I really love this primer and how well it feels like my skin is moisturized. Then to switch things up, I've been using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. So this is a very full coverage foundation, and shout out to Tati Westbrook because she's the one that talks about this stuff all the time. So I had to try it. Whenever I've gone to the store though, apparently I don't know what shade I am. So I have 3 different ones that are none of the right shade or even kind of close. So I sort of blend all different ones to get the look. As you guys can see, I kind of am putting a lot on, but what I like about this foundation is, like I said, it's full coverage, but it doesn't make your face feel super cakey. And then for me, I used to say I have combination skin, but it's honestly been more dry lately. And I'm always worried that putting a lot of foundation on is really going to dry out my skin, especially when it's sort of a matte foundation. And this one definitely does not do that. So that's really great, and I just have really liked it so far. So once that is all blended out, I'm going to go ahead and use some of my concealer. So I got one of the Tarte concealers in a little tester bottle because I wasn't really ready to make that full purchase, but I wanted to use it. So as you can see, this shade should be a little bit lighter. It's not quite right because they don't have the full shade range in the mini bottles. It's just like a light to medium shade that I grabbed. But I'm putting that on as my concealer and making sure I conceal all of my dark circles and really get underneath my eye is sort of the main point that I want, and just blend that out with a beauty blender. And I really like this tester when I got it, so I'll definitely be buying the full product of that concealer. Now I'm just going to be using my Neutrogena mineral powder. So I've been using this instead of my setting powder that I used to use, pretty much to set my face and then not really baking as much. I do put it on a little bit heavier underneath my eyes, sort of where I would be baking. But I kind of like this tinted powder instead of that white setting powder that I used to use, and so I've just kind of been trying to try new things and using this more recently. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows. They were kind of done from the night before, so we're going to skip that. Then I'm just going to dust off all of that setting powder, make sure there's no excess residue on my face, and we're going to go ahead and move to contouring. I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette to do my contouring, like I always do. I'm going to do a video on this later on and kind of give you guys a more depth on contouring, because I've had some of my friends say that I should do a video on that, but that will be another video. So when I'm doing this contouring, I'm really making sure that I put on that powder in my cheek, right in that cheekbone, and then I'm using circular motions to really make sure it's blended out, because I want to have a really, you know, nice contour that's pretty dark, because I like that dramatic contour with my super round face, but I don't want it to be a harsh line, so I use those circular motions to really make sure everything is blended out and it's a nice smooth transition. Then I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of nose contouring just to kind of make my face a little more bronzy and give my nose a little bit more shape. Now I'm going to do what I was talking about earlier with kind of going back and retouching those colors, especially after I did all that like brushing off with all the powders and everything. So just retouching all those different things, making sure everything is blended correctly, making sure if I made any mess ups that I fix them on my eyes. And then I'm going to go ahead and do underneath my eyes. So when I do underneath my eyes, I'm just going to be taking the orange shade and this one more brownie shade and just do it very lightly right underneath my waterline, so I have just like a little bit of color there. It really makes my hazel eyes pop when I do sort of a little bit of orangey or red color underneath my eyes. So I really like that, and I want to make sure that I bring that all the way to the end so it sort of blends very seamlessly with that top part of my eyeshadow. Now I'm doing a little finishing touch that I like to do with my bronzer, using my Too Faced bronzer and just sort of going back over that contour, getting my forehead and my neck a little bit. Now I'm going to be using blush, this Be Fearless, Be Limitless blush that I always use, using that brown to get all of my cheekbones and all over my cheeks. Now mascara. I have fake lashes on, and you're normally not supposed to be wearing mascara with fake lashes, but mine have lots of gaps in them and sort of just are ready to be gone at this point, so I'm putting mascara on. Now I'm just going to be doing some lip liner for some color and blending that out with my finger, and then I'm just going to be using a Colourpop lip gloss to make my lips a little glossy. And here we have the finished look.
You guys enjoyed that tutorial. I've been switching up a few things in my makeup routine. As you guys can see, it's always super hard for me to get out of doing the exact same thing every time and to sort of integrate new things into my routine. So let me know what you thought of the little changes that I made. Do you think it looks better? Do you think it looks worse? If you guys tried out my old way, which way do you like better? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here, and make sure you guys check back for new videos every week. I will see you guys in my next video.